January 17th, everybody have a safe holiday.
Alan Duke was inside the courtroom, and he's been there many times when Lindsay Lohan has appeared. And what a contrast, what a turnaround. Are you believing tonight, Alan? Are you believing in Lindsay Lohan? Has she turned it around?
Listen, this is something I've been through. I've been in court with her probably about 15 times in the last 2 years. Every time I'm telling somebody I think Lindsay is probably doing okay now, something happens. If you recall, now we're on her fourth judge in the last 2 years, by the way, and if you recall, January of this year, she got out of rehab. I think it was January the 2nd. And it was only about 3 weeks later that she was shopping in a jewelry store in Venice Beach, and everything fell apart for her. If she had just waited 6 weeks before getting in trouble on that shoplifting charge, she would have been through with all of this probation, because that was going to happen in February. But this judge that she's got now only inherited her in the last few months and is already exasperated. It's only been 1 month, or really 6 weeks, that Lindsay has been on schedule. So let's see what happens on January 17th when we're back in court.
All right, a little skepticism from Alan Duke tonight. But Michelle Suskauer, I think a picture tells 1,000 words. Let's take a look at Lindsay Lohan's appearance in October versus today. And it just seemed like it was a much better Lindsay Lohan today.
Ms. Lohan was driving westbound on Sunset Boulevard when she lost control of her vehicle.
She drove her car into a curb on Sunset Boulevard.
If there was ever a picture that told a story, you're looking at it. Lindsay Lohan passed out in a car after a wild weekend.
Arrested on suspicion of DUI.
Preliminary investigations are as illegal narcotics.
Tentatively identified as cocaine.
Okay, what's going on there?
Out of nowhere, a huge white GMC came up. Oh my God, sir, they're following us. We need help.
No special treatment for Miss Lohan. She got everything that everyone else would get.
I'm off to Cannes right now to announce the movie.
She was ordered to be here. She was ordered to be here at 8:30. She's not here. There's really no valid excuse.
And I just finished some more traffic school, so I've been in compliance.
Do you understand and accept the conditions of your remaining out on bail?
We want to comply. Ms. Lohan wishes to comply.
I wasn't expecting any special treatment, and I wasn't missing the classes just to hang out or do anything like that. I was working.
Defendant is now remanded to custody to serve the 90-day jail sentence.
I was working mostly in Morocco, the trip. I was working with children. It wasn't a vacation. It wasn't some sort of a joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsay Lohan was released from custody at 1:35 this morning. And per a court order, she has been sent directly to her next destination, which is a treatment center.
Lindsay Lohan has a new fashion accessory. It's an alcohol monitoring bracelet.
Lindsay Lohan going back to rehab. What's the deal?
Dismay, but at the same time, a little satisfaction that she's going to a rehab.
Dude, you want to comment on anything on your dad?
I just wish he would just shut up. As far as I knew, I was being incompliant with my program. I mean, I've been in compliance more than ever.
Are you still taking drugs?
No. No. I feel like there's always people that are going to say certain things, so I just try to not acknowledge it. I'd like to be positive as much as possible. It's just been such a long haul. I'm sorry.
That's Lindsay Lohan in court, out of court, back in jail, out of jail, in rehab, and out again. But maybe today was a break in that vicious cycle. Let me bring back in my guests, and let's talk about Lindsay Lohan and her career. And I know this is a great financial move. I wonder how it'll impact her cachet out in Hollywood, but she is going to be on in Playboy. She's on the cover. Let's take a little sneak peek. There's the cover of Playboy magazine featuring Lindsay Lohan. Probably a great payday, A.J. Hammer, for the short term and the long term. Does that help folks these days? Revitalize a career?
It can. Yeah, it certainly can. We have seen that happen in the past. I think it was a real miss, the fact that she didn't get back from Hawaii to do the Ellen DeGeneres show, which was her only scheduled promotional stop for the Playboy photo spread that she did. But the reason it's a good thing for Lindsay Lohan in particular is, number one, she's got nothing else going on right now. And it's a way for her to get buzz and have people talking about her for something other than her troubles. That's not what's highlighted here. It's, you know, a nice photo pictorial, as they do in Playboy, and it's not raunchy or anything like that. It made sense to me, actually, that she ended up doing this. I think, like I said, a missed opportunity that she didn't get to go on Ellen to promote it.
Well, let's talk about that, and let's take a look at her, because it wouldn't have been her first time on Ellen's program. Back in 2007, she was on Ellen. Take a look.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to milk it because it's a big birthday, and I think it's been a long time coming for some of my friends that have clubs out in LA. They don't have to worry about getting into trouble.
Right.
Because I'm underage. I'm going to go, I think I'm doing a party in Vegas, which makes sense because I've never been able to go out there.
All right, Alan Duke. Now, it's not a violation of your probation to not show up for the Ellen program, right? But the repercussions of that could be almost as dramatic, can they? I mean, because here you have her missing another appearance, and the ability for people in Hollywood to say, hey, can we or can we not rely upon Lindsay Lohan to show up? How big of a blow could this be to her comeback, you know, blowing off Ellen?
Well, I'm sure if Lindsay's publicist were to call just about any talk show, she could get on that talk show, especially now because we're talking about her. I'm sure you would invite her on here, right, Vinny?
Well,
just because she didn't show up with Ellen doesn't mean...
Might be some tough questions,
right. I mean, even you've been canceled on before, but yeah, no, it did not help because it was, you know, there's a good rapport. Ellen is a great interviewer, and there's a good rapport there, as you saw from, what, 4 or 5 years ago. It would have been important for her to be there, and I know she hates it that she wasn't. Apparently, she overslept, didn't get to the airport, didn't get all those things done, and didn't get on the flight, so she missed that opportunity. But that's just the smallest thing. She's missed movie opportunities for the necklace theft, really set her back, because she was supposed to be in some movies in this past year, couldn't leave town to film them. She did some promotion for them and never made it into the movie. So it's a tough business anyway, and she's making it tougher on her.
A.J. Hammer, and if I'm going to invest millions of, and I wouldn't do it, but I'm saying a producer is going to invest millions of dollars in a project, and would you be willing to take that chance with Lindsay Lohan if, yeah, it looks like she's on the straight and narrow with probation, but, you know, she missed her appearance on the Ellen program?
Yeah, and because she missed a flight, you know what? I get that maybe she has this busy life. She's got a lot to do. She's out there going to a party in Hawaii. You know, I have a very busy schedule. I'm back and forth from L.A. I'm doing this show, doing that show, just like you, just like everybody else. And there are people far busier than me. I never miss a flight. These people never miss flights. The fact that she did miss that flight to come back here for and we shouldn't underestimate how important this appearance was. A very important appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I think while it won't mean a lot to the viewing audience at home, it certainly will mean a lot to anybody in Hollywood. Yet another strike against her that she just cannot keep on a schedule. And as far as the viewing audience at home, a missed opportunity in she could have done something perhaps to try to bring her image back. Because right now, I don't think she has a huge fan base to begin with. Still a huge talent, and I'm rooting for her, Vinny. I really am.
I think we all are. We're all hoping that she can get back on the straight and narrow, maybe cut some more records and make some appearances in places other than court. Los Angeles County Chief Coroner Ed Winter on Lindsay Lohan's second day of community service at the L.A. County Morgue. The first day she showed up late, but the second day she got there bright and early. And the question tonight, you know, is Lindsay Lohan turning her life around? Is she set up for success? Michelle Suskow, criminal defense attorney. Will we ever hear the words, Lindsay Lohan, you have successfully completed probation?
Gosh, I hope so. I'm surprised that her probation has not been revoked and just sentenced to a significant amount of jail time, and that's it. But hopefully the judge is trying to encourage her. I think that's what we heard today, and maybe they're having some connection there, and she's going to be able to turn herself around. But I'm not hopeful. I think it's who she surrounds herself with. And if she doesn't surround herself with good, helpful, positive folks, then she is just going to fall backwards, and she's not going to be able to be successful.
Alan Duke, you think we'll ever hear those words uttered in a courtroom? Lindsay Lohan, you have successfully completed your probation. You are free to go.
Well, it could happen March 29th that her probation, the serious supervised part with all these requirements could be done, including the community service. But frankly, I've been down this road with her a number of times in court. And just when we think that's going to happen, something happens. It's going to be hard for, I think, for her, difficult for her through the Christmas holidays as she travels to her family in New York. Then she gets back, and by January 17th, she's got to have all those requirements met. And if not, the judge is not going to be happy like she was today. So I'm kind of skeptical about this.
I want to be half full, A.J. Hammer. You know, it's the most wonderful time of the year, the spirit of the season. Do you have an ounce of optimism to sprinkle on all of this?
You know, generally and particularly with the holidays coming, of course, I want to be optimistic, but I'm like Alan. I'm not going to step into that parent trap, so to speak, and say, yeah, absolutely, it's going to work out. Here's what I want to know, though, Vinny. Here's what I want to know. Just listening to that chief coroner speaking a moment ago, I'm thinking somebody in Hollywood has got to be writing this screenplay right now. It almost seems surreal. There was the head of all of the coroners in Los Angeles talking about a young woman who was once arguably one of the most popular and famous teen stars on the planet, not going to be touching dead bodies, but here's what she's going to be doing. What a film this could be, and I know just who could star in it.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's all happened so recently, she could play herself. I would watch it. Well, A.J. Hammer, I want to thank you so much. Check out Showbiz Tonight coming up at 11 right here on HLN. Michelle Suskauer, fantastic job, criminal defense attorney. And Alan Duke on the scene. Thank you all so much.